Alright guys, I am back with my review of this week's WWE Monday Night Raw for November 26, 2012. And I had to chug some coffee to finish the show off, but I really liked this week's show. I thought it had some great stuff on it, but it's just 3 hours is a long time, man. But anyways, I really liked this week's show. We had some great matches here. Dolph Cena, Daniel Bryan, Mysterio, Kane and Punk, and the awesome Sheamus versus Cesaro. I really liked that match. Those two just beat the hell out of each other. But the only thing I really didn't like on this show was probably that Cena AJ crap. It's just terrible. And Khali, Hornswoggle, that was kind of silly. But overall, a good Monday Night Raw this week. So the show starts off with Ryback versus Titus O'Neil. There was some miscommunication in this match, but I still enjoyed it. There were some spots where the guys kind of just ran into each other and didn't really know what to do. But I still enjoyed this match, and Ryback wins with Shell Shocked. So Ryback refuses to leave until he gets what he wants, which is Punk and the NXT guys. So security comes out. Ryback tosses one of those guys out of the ring. Vicky comes out and tells him he can't touch security. Ryback demands a match with Punk at TLC. And Vicky gives him the match and asks him to leave. And he says, "Shut up." He also wants Punk in the tables, ladders, and chairs match of TLC. So he pretty much holds the show hostage here. And Vicky begs him, please, please leave the ring. And agrees to all his demands. It was kind of strange because she's in the position of power here. And she's pleading with Ryback, please leave my ring. And eventually he does, and it was just weird that she rewards him for acting like this. But he leaves, he scares the security guys away. Just a way to make Ryback look like a monster. So backstage, Rose is pissed off at Hornswoggle for squirting her with water. Del Rio comes up and says he's going to get revenge for her. Khali stops him and says, "Leave my friend alone," which leads to Del Rio versus Khali. No scarf on Del Rio for some reason. Khali chops Del Rio. Ricardo gets on the apron. Hornswoggle chases him off. I feel sorry for Hornswoggle. He's always got to stick his face in someone's ass. But he chases Ricardo away, and Del Rio makes Khali tap to the armbar. Punk and Heyman come up to Vicky. They're pissed off that she's made this match for TLC. Punk says he's beaten Ryback twice now. And she says, well, I made the match because of what happened to Hell in a Cell, what happened at Survivor Series with Maddox and now the NXT guys. And he says he didn't have anything to do with that. So we see the interview that Michael Cole had with the NXT guys from earlier today. And Ambrose was easily the star of this. So they're fighting against injustice, and they're not working for Punk. And this pretty much just tells us that, hey, these guys are going to interfere at the TLC match, because Punk finds this to be injustice. So they call themselves the Shield. It reminds me of the comic book group. I don't know if that's what they were going for with Shield or what, but I was thinking maybe CM Punk had something to do with this. Alicia Fox versus Tamina. A mini Tamina promo on AJ and how she attacked her because she didn't know her place. She shouldn't mess with Vicky Guerrero. It was a squash match. Tamina wins with a splash. Cena comes out. He starts talking about the kiss with AJ. Vicky comes out. She's got a present. It's a couple bathrobes or something. And she brings up AJ's past with Kane, Daniel Bryan, Punk. So AJ comes out. And she says that she's not the general manager. She can date whoever she wants now. She slaps Cena's ass. This was just terrible, terrible stuff. Dolph comes out and says that the real story is how he knocked Cena through a bathroom wall, and Cena just laid there and took it. That was good. And he says that AJ was thinking about him when she was kissing Cena. And Vicky makes Cena versus Dolph for tonight. Kofi versus Tensai with Barrett on commentary. Kingston wins with the crossbody. Barrett comes in the ring, hands Kofi his title afterwards. This was an okay match. They're doing a poll for CM Punk's opponent. It's Daniel Bryan or Kane. And Kane and Daniel Bryan are backstage. Daniel Bryan has a map of the world and how everyone's voted for him, and he says maybe Kane is winning the poll in hell. It was pretty funny, but Kane wins the poll, so it's Kane versus Punk later. And Kane says it looks like your data was skewed. In the meantime, we get Rey Mysterio versus Daniel Bryan. Really good match here. Bryan goes for the no lock. Mysterio gets the ropes. Mysterio hits a 619 around the ring post, hits the splash for the win. This was a pretty good match. It's just so weird how Team Hell No, Kane is obviously the babyface, and Daniel Bryan is kind of a babyface, but he's also like the heel of the group. It's all just very strange. I mean, he's clearly the heel. That's why they put him against Mysterio, but he still gets cheers when he's out there with Kane, so I don't know what the hell they're doing with Daniel Bryan. Rosa thanks Del Rio for defending her. He winks at her. She's probably going to join him, kind of like to me, what it looks like is a JBL thing with Del Rio, where he's got like an entourage. Dolph says Cena is obsessed with AJ, and he can't wait to see her face after what he does to Cena tonight. We get Dolph versus Cena, which was another really good match, but I didn't care for the finish. It was all over the place. So Cena goes for the AA. Dolph kind of lands on his feet, hits the zigzag, but Cena kicks out. Cena goes for the 5-knuckle shuffle, and he starts selling the knee injury. It looked really goofy. He's running, and then all of a sudden he's got these spaghetti legs. And while the referee's checking on him, Dolph tries to remove the turnbuckle, exposing the steel. AJ runs out to stop him. Vicky pulls her off the apron. Those two are kind of having a stare down. Dolph goes for the briefcase, but Cena ducks, hits the AA, gets the win. And I really just did not care for this at all, because they could have had Dolph at least get a cheap win at least 4 different times in this match. And they still had Cena go over. What is the point in that? But I guess you could say maybe Dolph is going to win at the pay-per-view, so they're letting Cena look strong here. I hope. But it really just didn't make any sense to have Dolph lose like this when they had so many opportunities to have him get a cheap win. Afterwards, AJ and Cena have a very awkward makeout session. Just, I don't know. So we get Sheamus versus Cesaro. Great match. Very brutal. Just really some stiff shots here. Sheamus goes off the top rope, gets hit with a sick uppercut. Sheamus bro kicks Cesaro out of the ring. He wins by countout. Cesaro looked really strong in this match. Big Show comes out with a chair. Sheamus tells Show that he's going to hit him with 100 chair shots if he has to at TLC. And Big Show tears the chair apart. It was funny because he's like trying to rip this thing apart. He's punching it. And then he just ends up smashing the thing. Damien Sandow cuts a promo on how he's going to rescue the WWE Universe. So Sandow versus Zack Ryder. I like the new Zack Ryder Ghostbuster tights. I thought that was cool. Sandow wins with a neck breaker. This was okay. Josh Matthews tries to talk to Heyman. Heyman says that Punk has passed Randy Savage with his title reign, and he wonders how much more injustice Punk can tolerate. So this leads to Kane versus Punk, the main event. Kane chokeslams Punk, but Heyman pulls him towards the ropes. Kane goes for the tombstone. Punk gets out, hits the GTS for the win. And afterwards, the Shield hits the ring. And Punk is acting all confused, like, are these guys going to attack me? But of course, they attack Kane. Daniel Bryan runs out to help him. They beat him up too. The fans are going nuts, chanting, "Feed me more." And Ryback comes out, gets a nice pop here. And he basically destroys the Shield. Punk takes off. He beats the crap out of these 3 guys. Punk hits the ring, tries to attack Ryback from behind. Has no effect. So Ryback tries to powerbomb Punk, and he ends up getting speared by Reigns. And then the Shield just overwhelm him and powerbomb him again in the ring. So that was it. That was the end of Raw. And I thought it was good. I like what they're doing with the Shield. It's so obvious they're working for Punk, and this is going to form, I think, some type of stable in the future. Hopefully with Maddox coming back, because I would like to see him included in this group. But yeah, I enjoyed this. It is kind of predictable because you know they're going to have an impact at TLC. They're going to do some crazy shit there and try to attack Ryback again. And then they're going to start building towards Punk versus Rock. But I'm fine with that. I just don't really like how Ryback destroyed these three guys. I mean, one-on-one, there's no way they have a chance. So it's kind of like the power in numbers, but even with three of them on him, he was able to fight them off. And I really just want to see these guys booked strong for at least a few weeks before Ryback tears them apart. And I'm just still really nervous that these guys, their only purpose is to make Ryback look like an even bigger monster. And they don't need to use guys who are this talented to do that. They have other guys for that. Ambrose was clearly the star of the Shield tonight. And he shouldn't just be jobbed out to Ryback. So anyways, that was Raw. Some great matches. A really good episode this week, I thought. So definitely check this one out if you normally skip them. But yeah, hopefully TLC ends up being a great show. Ryback versus Punk in the TLC match should be fun, but I definitely do expect the Shield to have a big presence on that show. So anyways, that's my review of this week's Raw. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this week's show in the comments, and thanks for watching.